This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for August 9th, 2022. It's currently July 28th, 2022, 10:19 p.m. Eastern Time. So the overall theme, interesting, we have a nullified theme card here. What nullified means that there's no correlation to the timeline cards. There's no connection, no relationship between the significator card, which signifies an important moment in the day or important influence. There's no correlation to it anywhere here on the timeline, which in most cases means that there is this move to the downside, halting a rally. There's a breakdown through a key support level. So that move happens, but there's some sort of other happening today or pre-market, post-market that will counteract that move. Also looks like we have an opportunity here. This is an important trade opportunity here. It looks like on the 9th. I'm advised to buy protection. You can see here congruency, the Lovers card again here at the high. So we had it as a theme card the prior day. Generally, and so you have it as a theme card, and then you see it as a high, generally meaning that implies like a downward slope in most cases. So likely we open lower. And what we see is, again, near the high, there's something having to do with a merger between two parties or an agreement between two leaders, something like that. Behavior into the low, or looks like into the low, is a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility as we move forward in time. And I'm advised to trade around the completion of a rally. Another congruency here, guys. We have we see the completion card here again, so the end of that bullish round, and we have that high or that crest here somewhere around like the 8th or the 9th, 4th, and then the 8th or the 9th again. So in the pre-market, there's a notable reversal on a one-day chart. It'll stand out. We also have a day's low. There's an important price level highlighted right around the open. It's the same price level highlighted in the prior day on the 8th, right around the open. In that first half hour, there's a resistance level that's highlighted. We have it at the open here highlighted again. And then what I've been seeing recently with the Prince of Swords card is not so much a bearish move, but actually like some jagged behavior that could in fact be bullish as well. And in the case of this, it may very well, we'll have to see when I look closer at it. Point is that the Prince of Swords is not so conclusively a bearish card as I used to think in the past. I'm coming to realize that it's much more of an ambiguous directional card. And so in that first half hour, we have definitive volatility. There's a notable move in amount of price range that changes here around that first half hour, and then we have a breakdown through a support level to meet a secondary support level and bounce around that support level sideways somewhere around like the 10 to 11 o'clock hour. There's a trade opportunity. What appears to be a low. Well, there's a crisscross back and forth. I don't know if that's so much a low, but there's a trade opportunity in the midst of 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level that'll take place roughly between, let's say, 11 and 12-ish, roughly. That trade opportunity, it'll mark confirmation of a bullish trend based on the technical behavior. However, that's an opportunity there, and I would likely use that opportunity to open up protection based on what I'm seeing here with the Lovers card in the high position. And then when we look at it over here, I'm seeing buy protection at the end of the day with the Lovers energy. So my sense is we have a midday high, and then we fall from that midday high with based on negative headwinds. There's a trough around like 1-ish, and out of that trough where we'll be oversold. There's another cash-in opportunity if you, maybe for a day trade, if you bought puts at the high. You want to cash in on that decline before it turns around. because we have a big move to the upside out of oversold territory, roughly between 1 and 2-ish. So we go from a midday high, declining down, and then we have a trough, followed by a big move to the upside out of oversold territory, out of that trough. That rally to the upside, it looks like it continues until somewhere between roughly 2 and 3 o'clock, and marks opportunity again to open up a short position or buy protection against long positions in anticipation of a downturn. In the last hour, out of a day's low, we have a move higher and pushing the upper end of a range on a 1-day chart, possibly somewhere there. And right at the close, out of that rally, right at the close, there's a failed attempt to break through a key resistance level, followed by a decline through a key support level into the post market, with another lower low the following day, based on the sneak preview card. That's the 9th of August, 2022 for the S&P 500. Guys, hit that like button if you like it. The best way you can show us support, guys, the best way you can say thank you for all this free work that we're doing, this valuable efforts that we're putting forth for you guys to make money. Best way that you can is by sharing us. If you make a little money, you can always take like 5% and hit us back, and that helps support the channel. There's quite a bit of people behind us. I'd also say check out that Kickstarter, guys. Likely when you're watching this, we're in the midst of running our Kickstarter for SO meta-analysis trading, an analysis platform. It's not a trading platform. It's a technical analysis and astrological analysis platform, financial analysis. All right, guys. See you guys on the next one.